Hey everybody, Josh Robinson here, and today we are going to talk about some video stats, projections, and strategies for 2021. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so let's see here. All right, so first thing we talk about is why video and why video in 2021. So the first thing is demand is higher than ever before, and we're going to go through some specific statistics that kind of support that. We're also going to cover why video has a proven track record for use by businesses and personal brands. We're going to talk about how consumption is outpacing all other mediums and that retention and what that means to your business that is higher than other mediums. So demand is higher than ever before. So according to HubSpot, more than 50% of consumers want to see videos from brands and businesses. So they actually want to see your content. A lot of us as business owners think that, sometimes we may be bothering or, we're putting out content, but maybe it's not really wanting to be consumed. We're just catching it on the right thing. And that's kind of shifted. So people actually want to see video content from businesses. This includes, marketing stuff as well as behind the scenes and other looks into your business that you may not have thought about sharing before. So, from MarketWired, the mere mention of the word video in your email subject line has increased open rates of email. And this is interesting. So most businesses that I know and talk to that are even producing video aren't necessarily using email as a source to share that video. So this is an interesting thing, but it again shows that people want to see video. If they're looking at an email and one says, just a normal subject line, and one says, check out this video about whatever that subject line was, they're more likely to click the one with the video. All right, in YouTube's survey, 50% of people from Gen Z and millennials said they couldn't live without video in their daily lives. And looking back, video is replacing so many other mediums that we use to consume. So granted, this is for the younger generations, but it is also happening in older generations as well. But when people say they can't live without something, that means that they are using it on a daily basis, multiple times. So the demand is definitely there. All right, so let's get into talk a little bit about how video has worked in the past. And I like to look at this as all of these things are growing. So some of these things are close to 100%, so there's not much growth left, but 97% of marketers claim that videos help their customers better understand products. This is huge for me. I rarely buy something that is complicated without first watching a video about it being used, seeing it in action. So if you have a product or a service that is complicated in any manner, helping people understand what they're going to be paying you for is a huge step in their buying process. So definitely showing that 97% of the people that are in a marketing role are using video for that purpose. So 81% of businesses are now using video as part of their strategy. And it's almost crazy that 20% of those people aren't. But video is an integral part of 4 out of 5 businesses and how they market to new and existing consumers. So it is being used and people are still using it. 90% of consumers claim a video will help them in making a purchasing decision. This is huge. Anything that can help your buyer down the process of buying your product has got to be something you use. When 9 out of 10 consumers say that this piece of content helped them make that purchase, that's something, if you're not using, you're missing out on. Video on landing pages, it increases conversion rates. I think a lot of people have known this for a long time, but having video, having a clear explanation in a medium that people want to consume is bound to help more people purchase that product. So landing pages is a great place, as well as website homepages. Give them an option to learn about your business in a way that they want to consume it. All right, LinkedIn. Video is shared 20 times more often than any other content formats throughout the LinkedIn feeds. That's massive. A 20x greater chance of somebody sharing your video versus your text or image. You have to be using it. Even just saying in a video what you were going to type out in a text has the potential to reach more people, especially on LinkedIn, where it's a discovery platform still. People that aren't following you have a chance to see your content through other people's engagement. So having something that can be shared in addition to just being discovered is even better. All right, so let's get on to why does video work? And there's a couple really big pieces of this. So retention. People retain more of what they see in video than they read and they take away from an image. So when they see and engage and actually watch a video, they take more of that information back with them than they do in any other way. This makes it more memorable. This is why it affects more purchases, and this is why it's in demand. So video is also the best medium for storytelling, and storytelling is becoming a huge part of the video content that businesses and brands need to be able to produce. Just having an advertisement or, a flashy piece of content no longer cuts it, with what people want to see in video, because, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of video. And if you don't have something that connects on a human level with people, like storytelling, it's going to be hard to keep them engaged with your video. So this video and the formats that we do it in just enable us to tell better stories. All right, more consumption than ever before. And this goes back to, that human connection, but people are watching more video. They're watching video more often. So when we look at producing video, for our brand or our business, we need to make it in a consumable way, because people are out there consuming it, and it may not be your content they choose to consume based on how it's structured and the strategy that you have behind it. But when it's done correctly, it will be consumed more than it's ever been consumed before. So let's go on to, so what's different about video in 2021? And this is interesting because it's not the same as it was last year, and it's not the same as it was definitely the year before that. But shorter content has been performing better than ever. So think about your different platforms that are supporting shorter content. So TikTok, Instagram stories, Instagram reels, YouTube introduced YouTube Shorts this year. So everybody is kind of tackling that short content. But in addition to that, even shorter pieces of content on platforms and spaces on platforms that were typically reserved for larger or longer form pieces of content, shorter pieces are still performing better. And I think that has a little to do with, attention spans. A lot's changed in the last year. More people spending time at home, more people consuming more content, and more things to choose from to consume. So if you have something that, is going to take up too much time, it may be looked over for something that's shorter. Let's go into live streaming. It's still on its way up. So, it's something that platforms are promoting. It's often easier to find a piece of live stream content from a certain creator than it is to find something more produced. So they're supporting it. That's definitely having a way up. Again, human connection. When you have a human connection through live stream, that has the potential to perform better and be seen and more engaged with than, you know, something that's pre-produced. So it's important to keep up. I've read a few stats, but they're varying greatly. One of the more measurable ones was that 13% of video bandwidth within the next few years will be taken up by live streaming. So that is huge on showing how many people are consuming live streaming. And if it's not something you've tried out for your business or brand yet, it's a great thing to step into and try and get comfortable with, because maybe not this year, but you know, in the next few years, like, it is going to be a huge piece of a lot of businesses, just like video is a huge piece right now. Let's talk a little bit about targeted video, and it's going to perform better than non-targeted video. And what that means is that when you produce a piece of content that's just general and for everyone, it adds to the noise. There's so many different videos out there, so many different kinds of videos. There's so many different people producing videos. If you're not being targeted in the content that you're making and who it's for, and staying on one subject and making it very precise, it's going to blend in with a lot of other things. You know, the second part of this targeted video is getting your videos in front of the people that have a willingness to consume them. So no longer simply just posting a video on YouTube and moving on with your day. Probably going to get that video seen by the people that need to see it. It's going to take a little bit of work and strategy behind actually getting the video content in front of the people that you want to see it. So I hope that was a brief kind of description of, you know, a few major takeaways from video in the past, what it's done, why it works, and what's going to be different this year. So if you're looking to take some next steps on video content for your business or your personal brand, here are a few resources that I have to help you in, whether that's, you know, figuring out strategy for video content for your business or brand. If you're looking to actually produce video for your business or brand, you want to do that on your own, give lots of tips and help to help you make that content in a way that your consumers want to do it. And then, you know, if you're looking for next steps, like, you know, maybe you realize this is something you don't want to do and you need someone to produce a video for you, or if you have a marketing team or a production team and need some strategy for video, you know, those are great things that I help with as well. So this is where you can find me: YouTube channel, Josh Robinson. Content on there all around creating video for businesses and personal brands. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Absolutely, any questions, hit me up there, as well as I have a Facebook group that I've started. So it's called Be Your Media, Learn Video Marketing for Businesses and Brands. So check out that video there. And that is going to be it for today. So if you have any questions about any of these statistics or any of these projections, or what do you think about video in 2021? What kind of impact is it going to have on yourself? And think about that, how it's going to impact your potential consumers as well. So until the next time, we'll see you.